Hello, and welcome to this presentation about Wishcycling. My name is Francis Veilleux, and I'm the president of the Bluewater Recycling Association. I've had the pleasure to serve you for the last 32 years, but tonight I want to talk to you about something where I need your help. Wishcycling, or aspirational recycling, happens when you put something in the recycling bin without knowing if it's actually recyclable. Or sometimes people actually think it's ought to be recyclable, so they put it in anyway. 59% of people believe that most items can be recycled, which is simply not true, which means that over half the people are wish cycling regularly. Now, it's no wonder that people wish cycle all the time. I mean, you're being bombarded with recycling symbols everywhere, and most of those are actually unregulated. That means the manufacturers or those who printed them on the packaging or boxes that you're using are using it without any regulation, and their purpose can be totally true or totally invalid. Sometimes the symbols simply mean that the packaging or the material has recycled content in it. Sometimes it means that it is recyclable. Sometimes it just means it identifies the types of plastic or material that it's made of. It can mean a whole slew of different things. Unfortunately, most people associate this recycling symbol as something that means it's accepted in the recycling blue box program, and that's simply not true. I need you to remember that next time you buy something and when you're looking at it to see whether it's recyclable or not. Your local blue box program, or currently collected in wheelie bins everywhere, is really designed for printed papers and packaging only. And this means, in general categories, some papers, some boxes, some cans, some plastics, and some glass. We'll look at those individually and go over what is actually recyclable and what's not. So when we talk about paper, we don't mean anything made of paper. We mean specifically newspapers, magazines, junk mail, box board like your cereal boxes, cardboard, which is typically brown with the wavy layers in the middle, flyers, paper egg trays, the actual paper towel rolls, or shredded paper if it's bagged. Now, it's just these are the items that we can accept. We don't want your medical mask, your wrapping paper, your jigsaw puzzles, your tissue paper, or used paper towels, or even your coffee cups. Those are not recyclable. They're not accepted in our recycling program, and we shouldn't find any of them in your wheelie bin. When it comes to metal, what we're looking for is steel beverage and food cans or aluminum beverage cans only. All metal lids are also acceptable. Now, it doesn't mean anything made of metal, like you don't want your lounge chair, we don't want your ammunition, we don't want your old bicycle, we don't want your chainsaw, we don't want your baking ware, your old favorite fishing lure, your propane tank, saw blades, or your boat anchor. Those cause a tremendous amount of damage to our equipment. We're not equipped to handle that. We don't expect to see them in our pile. And when they come through the equipment, they shred our conveyor belts, they damage our optical computers, and they cost thousands of dollars in damage when they go through. Glass, we mean glass bottles and jars. That's it. We're not looking for anything else. We're not looking for your window pane or your drinking glass or any ceramic goods or any mirrors or drinking glasses or anything like that. Simply bottles and jars. When it comes to plastic, well, it seems like everything in the world is made of plastic these days. And at one point, the industry tried to make it easier to identify which types of plastics by agreeing to print a recycling loop or a Mobius loop on the packaging with a number in it, and that number simply identifies what type of plastic it's made of. It doesn't mean it's recyclable at all. It just tries to help any producers or recycler to see how to handle the particular types of plastic. In our case here, we will accept any bottles and jars, tubs and lids, any blister packaging or that you may receive some of your products in. Realistically, number 1, number 2, and number 5 plastics are PET, HDPE, and polypropylene. Those have existing markets. We can market those worldwide. Not a problem at all day long. The rest of them, the 3s and the 6 and the 7s, there's really no existing markets for them. They're used as a filler in other products. Markets come and go. They're very low quality materials, and nobody really wants those. It's just the 1, 2s, and 5s. But again, it's just bottles, jars, tubs, and lids, and some packaging that you will find coming to your home. That means we don't want other things that are made of plastic or that you may think are made of plastic, like your old lawn chair or your Christmas lights, your boat wrap, your solar blanket, your needles, or ropes, or VHS tapes, ink cartridges, your vacuum cleaner, or your bowling ball. None of those are acceptable in the Blue Box program, and we don't want to see them. So please stop sending us your trash and just send us the recyclables, and things will be much easier. So we don't want just anything that's made of paper, metal, plastic, and glass. I mean, we sometimes even find some wood in there, and I don't know whether people think that, oh, paper is made out of wood, they must be able to recycle it. We can't. It doesn't go through our facility, and it causes damage and slows everything down and actually contaminates other products. So please don't give us those. Don't give us long stringy things or your needles or anything hazardous or any organic material. That would be great. If you do your part, recycling is smart, and we all do our part. And I'll give you an example of that. One of the material that we collect is number 2 HDPE bottles. And when we collect those, we bring them back to our facility in Huron Park, where we separate them all, make a bale, and then market them. In our particular case, over the last year, we've collected over 1 million pounds of those containers and sent them to a company called EFS Plastics, located in Listowel within our own territory here. EFS breaks those bales, shreds the material, removes any leftover material that might be inside, your leftover soap and peanut butter or whatever else. They'll likely remove the paper labels. A lot of times the caps are also a different plastic. They'll remove those. And they make a new plastic pellet that's usable to make any new products. And they turn around and send it right back to companies next door to us, like Exiplast and Bluewater Pipe, where they make new products. Exiplast makes traffic cones out of those, and Bluewater Pipe makes the corrugated pipes that you see in the farmer's field all over the place that are used for about 50 years. Those 1 million pounds of material that have gone through EFS and gone back to Bluewater Pipe have created over 6 million feet of corrugated pipe in the last 14 months or so. So that's an example where we have the circular economy model right here in our backyard, where nothing's going to landfill. We bring it back here, get it fully recycled, and goes right back into a usable product. And that's when recycling works, when you give us what we need. So keep in mind, when in doubt, leave it out and stop wish cycling. Thank you.